Sharp Game here, coming at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com off of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. You know, I get a lot of questions. For the past couple of months, I've been getting a lot of questions about guys can't get laid, man. And this question that I get is kind of troubling to me because this happens, guys. I get emails from guys worldwide at this point. And guys are asking me, how do I get more women? How do I get more sex? What do I have to do? And that's just, it's not a simple answer all the time. It's not the same for everybody. Because you have to understand that there's different levels to the game. Everyone is not in the same position. And that's where a lot of guys, and even a lot of women, don't understand. Because a lot of people are, a lot of people are frustrated. A lot of people are delusional. A lot of people think they no one knows their lane. They don't know what position they're in. But what I can tell you is if you don't like the position that you're in, and if you don't like the results that you're getting, something has to change. And you're going to have to work on yourself. And see, that's where most people, men and women, they don't want to work on themselves. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to put in that work. That's like, that's like looking at somebody and seeing the results that they're getting. And you say, hey, I want to be like that guy. So you rush out to the store and buy a new outfit and put the outfit on and go out and about in public, but you still stinking. You still nothing has changed. You just put on a new outfit. It doesn't work that way. That's like being a starting quarterback of the football team and you think you're supposed to be like Tom Brady. This doesn't work like that. Without putting in any work. It doesn't work like that. You're going to have to put in the work, man. You're going to have to do some personal development. It just doesn't work. You don't get something for nothing out here. It doesn't work like that. A lot of women, especially a lot of older women, in the 40s and 50s and even 60s, they're kind of delusional too, because a lot of women are with 2, 3, 4, 5 kids, divorced, some never married. They're looking for they have a long list of expectations and qualifications for the guy that they want. And it's probably not going to happen. You're not going to get a quality guy with all the qualities and attributes that you want. You don't want him to have no kids. You want him to have a house, car, good paying job, and educated, religious. That's probably not going to happen. If you already got 2, 3, 4, 5 kids, I mean, you already have baggage. A guy, I don't know no 30-year-old guy that's looking for the 40-year-old woman with kids. I mean, at best, all y'all can do is have sex. At best. Really. I think a lot of women are delusional, and a lot of guys, it really depends on what type of guy you are when it comes to having women around you. But most guys, women just don't want to rock with. And that's just the truth. Most guys, even if they offered to pay women women wouldn't rock with them. They wouldn't have anything to do with them. I mean, if you don't believe it, this is why the sex toy stores are making a killing out here today. These sex toy stores are everywhere. They're making a killing, especially online. Most of their sales come from online sales. These companies, these sex toy stores, most women would play with a dildo than even be next to any of these guys today. Because most of these guys are weak and soft. And see, there's a small percentage of guys that are just like me. That don't have to do anything extra. Don't have to make no offers. I've never had to trick off for sex or do anything out of my comfort zone to get laid. I never had to do any of that. Really. No one ever told me I had to do it either. That's another thing. You know, it's like, I just don't respect guys that trick off. If tricking off is like the majority of where your sex is coming from in your hometown, that's just not the way to go. I just don't respect that. Now, if you're there's always exceptions to the rule. If you're overseas in some desert area for 7 months, a year, 2 years out of the time, and the only thing that's around is prostitutes, okay, I gave you a pass. If you're in some place like Dubai or something like that, okay, I'll give you a pass. You know, maybe your game ain't tight like that. But if you're in America and you're in your hometown and you're tricking off all the time, there's something wrong with that. There's something wrong. Some people will say, if it ain't tricking if you got it. No, tricking is tricking. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you got the money to spend or not. Anybody can trick off. Anybody can come up with a couple of dollars to trick off. Just go on Backpage.com. $50, $60, $80. That's it. You pop and go. Anybody can do that. You know? So don't try to justify tricking. Tricking is tricking. But most guys are not going to be able to get sex without offering a woman something. Either you're going to spend time, you're going to have a relationship, you're going to take care of this woman long term, financially, have kids and all that stuff. It's because we live in a beta male revolution today. And that's the majority of guys today. The majority of guys, they can't just have sex with a woman with no strings attached. Majority of guys ain't got it like that. It just is what it is. And it's okay. You can move up. You can always step your game up. You know, I mean, now some guys will say, well, it depends on how you look. And that's true. It does depend on how you look. Some guys will say, it depends on how much money you got. That's true. It does depend on how much money you got sometimes. But not all the time. Now there's some women out here, and even some guys will say, especially women, that will say, if you go to places like Japan or even some women here in America, if you ask them, hey, does looks matter? They'll say, oh, no, looks doesn't matter. Now, that's a lie. That's not true. Looks does matter. Looks always matter. I mean, if you just met somebody 5 minutes ago, you're looking at them. That's all we have is looks. Now, some people say, I don't see color. I see color all the time. You know, you got some people out here that will say anything to stick within the status quo. But they'll say what sounds good in public, but they're doing something else in private. There's a lot of people out here that's like this. A lot of women out here like this. They'll say one thing up front in public, but behind the scenes, they're doing something totally different. So you got to be careful with that. Looks always matter. When you meet people, that's all we got. Some people say, well, I don't see color. Yes, you do. I see color all the time. There's nothing wrong with that. And you don't have to have money to get laid. I've gotten laid many times without money. Now, some guys will say, hey, well, what about if you don't look the part, but you got money? Of course you're going to get a certain amount of women if you got a ton of money. But what kind of women are you going to get? And if the money goes away, the women goes away. Because if the guy was corny, didn't have no game, and then before he came into the money, well, he's going to be corny again when the money's gone. And then everybody, and the girls is going to be gone too. So you want to have game and have money. That's the ideal way. And have personality, charm, charisma. You want to have a combination. That you want to strive for balance. I'm not saying that you're ever going to have balance, but you always want to have a arsenal of tools in the toolbox, so to speak. You don't want to be solely dependent on money or dependent on your looks. You don't want to be solely dependent on one thing. Because if you're solely dependent on one thing, one tool, then you're at risk. Then you become a target then. And then you got a lot of these guys that's weak. They'll have, if they'll get a job and they'll get promoted, and they might have be supervisor or some power position within the company, and you got these dirtbags that will use their position to kind of manipulate women into sleeping with them at work. Now, I always thought this was kind of corny when guys do this, and this has a lot to do with a lot of these celebrities getting caught up when women are coming out the woodworks. And I don't feel sorry for none of these guys, because you have these guys that they're in power positions. They know these girls want jobs, and they want them to do something strange to get a job position or to get the part. And I always thought that was kind of corny. You have to use your job position to have sex with a woman. That's kind of corny. I just don't. I always thought that was kind of corny. I just think that it's not really that serious. It's just, I just never looked at it like that. You don't have to be like that. I mean, that's a lot of work to go about getting sex and manipulating women like that. In my opinion, you'd be much better off just building up yourself, becoming a much better person, a much better man, and women are going to come by default. And the best part about it is no one can take that away from you. It's not going anywhere. See, the job position is not going to last that long. It's not going to last forever. If you're an entertainer, the top guy or top position at the company, in any company, you're not going to be in there forever. But if no one can take your personality away from you. No one can take your social skills away from you. So you'd be much better off just doing some type of personal development. Because no one can really take that away from you. That's going to be with you forever. Really. And there's some guys out here, it doesn't matter what, even if they had to pay to get sex, some women still not going to give them the time of the day. They still not going to give them the time of the day. That's just how that is. You know? But there's different levels to the game. It's like everybody can't be on top. Everybody can't be on the same level socially, economically, in any environment. I mean, it's kind of like football. It's first string, second string, third string. It's a competitive sport. Everyone can't be number one. Everyone can't be on top. That's just how that is. But sometimes I'm just surprised that guys, how frustrated a lot of guys get when it comes to having sex. Women today are giving sex away like hotcakes. I mean, if sex was on the stock market, it would plummet today. It wouldn't have much value. And then that's why I have a hard time believing some guys, you know, they upset, they going their own way because either they couldn't get laid, or when they did get laid, the women have so much conditions that they have to abide by in order to be around them. So some guys say they opt out, say forget all that. If I got to do all that just to get a piece, I'll just go my own way. And that's crazy. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do for sex? I'll ask these guys, what are you gonna do for sex? Are you gonna go without, or just get a prostitute? This is how prostitutes make their money. They sleep with guys that they don't necessarily, they're not attracted to. It's just all about the money. Really. Now some guys say, well, no, that's a slut or a hoe. Well, no, a hoe is, well, really a slut sleeps with everybody. But she's attracted to them. A hoe is somebody that she sleeps with guys for offers, sexual favors, or money. A prostitute, she's not attracted to them dudes at all. It's all about the money. That's the difference. Now, some people use these words interchangeably, but that's the difference. A slut, she's attracted to all the guys. She just don't have no standards. And she ain't getting paid. She not doing it for money or sexual favors. She's doing it for, she just like fucking. That's the difference between a slut, a whore, and a prostitute. And I'm not a whole hater. So, hey, it is what it is. So if you go MGTOW or you go your own way, I guess you're gonna pay for sex, I guess, or get into some of these local swinger clubs, or sex clubs or whatever. I don't know, but I know one thing: it's unnormal. It's not normal not to be around a woman, or not to be around a man. That's not a normal thing. To say, hey, I don't want to be around no man or no woman at all. That's something wrong with that. We were put here to reproduce. We weren't put here for gossip, dressing, makeup, hair, jobs, vacations. At the end of the day, we weren't put here for none of that crap. That's just a bunch of nonsense. Those are just distractions. We were put here to reproduce, to have sex. That's what we were put here for. We weren't put here for dating, talking. None of that. That's just a bunch of nonsense. That's a bunch of BS, bunch of distractions. That stuff just gets in the way. We were put here to reproduce. You don't even got to talk to have sex. You don't even got to have, you ain't got to have clothes on to have sex. You know, you don't necessarily, you know what I'm saying? I think you understand the point I'm trying to make. We're put here to reproduce. So whenever I hear guys say, he don't want anything to do with a woman, that's kind of weird, man. You got some serious problems whenever I hear something like that. But I'm going to do a video in my Patreon about the landscape and the status of relationships today. Some myths and misconceptions about relationships. So go on over there on my Patreon and subscribe. I'm going to be posting videos up there on a weekly basis. And go buy my books. Check out my website, chooseyourrelationships.com. Until next time, I'm out. Peace!